What's good, my dudes? I'm just doing a quick little tutorial on Maya LiveLink, connecting Maya to Unreal, because I've had issues, had to do some troubleshooting to figure out why stuff wasn't working, and no one knew the answer. I finally figured out some things, and I just want to be able to share that here. So first thing, we're going to want to make sure that we download the Unreal LiveLink for Autodesk Maya version 2, 2.1. It does work. Some people are showing issues. I didn't have issues with it. You just download it, links there. With Unreal, I don't have, my launcher was here. My bad. Some stuff might take some time to load. I didn't prep this in advance. With Unreal, at the moment, 5.3 is out, but you have to use very specifically 5.0.x. Doesn't matter what the x is, 5.0.3 is what you need. So I'm going to click on launch just so I can have Unreal open, and I'm going to make a brand new scene just to show you from the start rather than just a pre-made scene that has it already linked. So we'll let that open. Not that one. Let's go to a blank games because it doesn't really matter. So we create, I have it in a wrong folder, doesn't matter. Make sure you have your project settings set for the appropriate stuff. For this, it's just going to be in my documents because whatever. Make sure as well that you have the Maya LiveLink installed before you open this. I've already installed it. That should be fairly straightforward and easy. I'm going to delete these assets because I don't want them in the scene, just because it gets a bit confusing. There's a lot of extra stuff here, but that's fine because what we just want is this here. Now, this is going a bit too quick for me, so I'm going to switch that to 1. Under starter content, I'm just going to create a new folder, characters, just because I'm going to be adding a character to it, and I'll show you that in a second. I need to go to plugins, so go edit plugins, search for either LiveLink or Maya, and you want to make sure specifically you have Maya LiveLink turned on. If you do LiveLink, there is this one right here, which is designed for Unreal 4 and the old version of LiveLink, and there's a bunch of other stuff. We do not want this one. You don't want this one. You want specifically the Maya LiveLink. This isn't one to show because there's no space. You want specifically the Maya LiveLink. Once you click that, like once it's installed, it will be in Maya and it will be in here. And then you would just want to restart. Yeah, save my scene, that's fine, whatever. Now, in Maya, we're going to open it. I've got Maya 2023. I haven't tested out 2022, but I've had a lot of people say online that LiveLink doesn't work with 2022, but 2023 works for me. 2024 on my laptop was working while I was using that before, but the laptop itself hardly works, so I won't touch that. Awesome. I've got Maya opened up on my other screen, so I'll just switch over to there. I'm going to open up a new... So I've got... This is what I ended up making for when I was doing my test, which is called Mother 1 Broke Mouth Controller, and I'll explain that in a second. Mother 1, this is a character that I rigged for my panels project, which I did and shown on here before. This rig is pretty cool. I'm going to just hide my skeleton just so you don't have to see it. It works, it's cool. We've got mouth controls there. We've got cheek controls. Can make the mother smile. Can make her sad. Do all that sort of stuff there. I've got the glasses controller here so that I can move around. That's done by a blend shape because I couldn't get it to rotate right. We've got eye openings, so it works that sort of way. It's rigged so that you've got skeleton inside so the hand and things can actually like move around, which is nice and cool. And I got IKFK switching, although that I haven't tested, but that should work fine, I think. And that's that, and that's cool and everything. So let me set everything back up to 0. 0. There we go. And I have it organized as one group right here. In the group, I have my master controller because I wanted to keep that outside, and then I have everything else. So the joints and all my other controllers are in there. So that way I can just grab the master controller, scale it if I need to scale, and everything scales with it. And then the mesh is outside of the master controller, but is all right here. The body has different blend shapes. Where are we at? Not skin cluster, mouth. Mother one mouth, and I have different blend shapes there, which is what this here is controlling. So if I move that over and we go back to the body, you can see that things there have been changed. Now this becomes a problem, and I'll explain that in a second though. Just showing you the rig. Now to set it up, you go to File, Unreal LiveLink. Now I wouldn't recommend doing it in the original file. You want to make sure you have a clean animation file and just have it referenced, but I'm just going to use it in here. So Unreal LiveLink. You've got the folder here. You need to do this first so that way you can start basically what's called broadcasting. Now if we switch back over to Unreal, I can close that. Under Window, Virtual Production, LiveLink. It's checked box because I have it open on this screen here. You'll get a screen like this. Nothing's actually linked or connected. What you need to do is go to Source, hover over My LiveLink, and then you should see your computer show up. Once you do that, you then have everything else here. Now you will probably only see editor active camera and not mum1 in this specific case. I'm going to switch back to my other screen. I'm going to break this connection just so I can show it to you from scratch, so I don't have to do things, so I can show you how to do things. What we need to do first now, once we have everything, is we need to export it all. So we go File, we go Export All. Sorry, don't even go Export All. Just say Send to Unreal, just so that way you get all the proper stuff. And then you click on All. Make sure you set it to somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this drive here. I will go to LiveLink Test, and I'm going to say, you know what? I should do it in the folder that this stupid thing made. So I'm going to go to Computer. Myself, I'm Jeff. I'm going to go to Documents. I'm going to go to Epic. Or is it Unreal? Unreal. My Projects. Content. It's not here. Hang on. Sorry, this is embarrassing. Let me just check on the other screen where I actually saved this at. This is why you should... Well, that's just great, isn't it? This is why you should make sure that you set your Unreal projects properly. Open project. It says it's supposed to be here under my project. Just doesn't like that I don't have characters folder, I guess. Alright, close. I canceled both of those. Let me go back to Unreal here. I'm going to start a completely new project. So we're going to say new project, games, blank. Yeah, not motion capture test. That was something else I was playing with. Oh, maybe that's actually where I have it saved, is under there. Hang on, I will keep it here. Let me open up my folders. Yeah, okay, no, I found out where it's at. Sorry. Not very professional of me. Alright, so here, send to Unreal, send all, find where your project is. In my case, my project is under motion capture, not under LiveLink, because that's something else I was playing with. There it is, my project, because that's what it was. Content, characters, that's where I want to put it. That's why I made that folder before. I'm going to make a new folder, call it Mother1. I like to use, it's not called camel, right? I forget what it's called, but camel is where the first letter is not capital, but all the first letters of the other words are in no spaces. But I like everything capital. So this, Mother1, select, make sure we have it set up as an FBX. There are different things that we want to make sure that we have selected. So we want to make sure that we have smoothing groups on. Smooth mesh, I find doesn't even work anyway if you smooth it. So just make sure that this whole thing is smooth beforehand, and doing this whole thing you should already know how to do if you've made it this far. Triangulate, leave off, leave that alone. Animation, make sure it's ticked on. Baked animation we don't want or need because I don't actually have any animation. Deformed model, skins, blend shapes, we want all that ticked on. We want shape attributes ticked on. I've played with both of these and there's not really a difference, so I just leave it at relative because I believe that's the default. Constraints, make sure those are ticked on as well. And then inside, it makes the folder there, Mother1 and import. You just call it this. So we're going to call it Mother1 for Unreal, just so Unreal, just so I have, I know what I'm playing with, just for the example. Export all. You're going to get some error messages here. Skin issues, and this is easy because it just says that I don't have skinning on my master controller, and it's like I don't need skinning on my master controller. Constraints exported, stuff about some constraints need to be baked, that's fine. And then this one here always sort of bothers me or pisses me off because this is essentially what the issue is. But this is saying that there's a lot of problems with shape nodes and the panels and the head, the body. And I'll explain that in a second once I do get to it, because that's the problem. Click close. Once that's done, over in Unreal, so let's switch to the screen, there is a thing in the bottom right corner you can't see because my watermark's in the way, so boom, there it is. You just want to make sure you click on the word import, and hopefully it gives you this screen. If it doesn't, you need to close and reopen Unreal and do that whole process again. Really annoying. There are certain things here you need to make sure you have ticked. So you want to make sure that skeletal mesh is on and import mesh is on. Skeleton is going to create itself on its own, so just leave that alone. It's under advanced. I mean, it's already going to be ticked for me, but probably not ticked for you. This one right here, do not import with curve 0. Leave that ticked. I've tried it both ways and I actually noticed a difference, but leave it ticked because I got error messages, so it probably broke some stuff. Because I don't have any animations, I have that unticked, but if you do have a preset animation, then yeah, tick that, that's fine. There's another specific thing I'm trying to find. Give me a second. Is it here? Under mesh. Yeah. Where are we at? Okay, it wasn't ticked. So under mesh, under advanced, import morph targets. This is what Unreal calls blend shapes. So if you're looking for blend shapes in Unreal, they're called morph targets, and that's these ones here. So we need to make sure that those are imported. And that's basically that. So then you say import all. Let it do its thing. There it goes. You get a bunch of error messages. it talks about hierarchy, which is all this stupid extra stuff. Say import again just because it's doing other stuff and just needs to like update some things. Just do that just so that everything's up to date. And then you get these, all these controllers here and everything. Everything is mostly related to just well, the fact that controllers aren't properly paired, and then there's hierarchy issues because it's just one being the FBX. That's fine. Clear it. It doesn't matter. Those work fine. Under characters, we got mother one, we got the import, we have the FBX and everything else here, which is great. We got the skeletal mesh and everything else here. Ignore these for now though, because what we're going to do is we're going to, well, make sure that my LiveLink window is open. It's what you should probably see when LiveLink is window is open in Unreal. Now if we switch back over to Maya, everything here selected just as it is. We're going to go to File. We're going to go Unreal LiveLink, which is already open. There it is. You're going to select the group, the root. You're going to say Add Selection. It may automatically send you to animation, but make sure you're set up to animation. Mum1, that's fine. We click on Link. You'll be greeted with this kind of window. And what you want to make sure you do is you find your model. So this one here is Mother 1 for Unreal Skeleton, because it's the skeletal mesh, and that's what we want to link it to. Now right here, this is the animation sequence that doesn't exist, so we're going to have to just create it. Now, the way I have mine set up, I have it goes content, which is already there, and then I have characters, mother 1, and that's basically where I'm going to leave it, but then I have to actually create it by saying mother anim sec for sequence. So mother animation sequence, because that's essentially that's the module we are creating for the animation blueprint in Unreal for LiveLink to see and use and connect and do. So we create sequence, have it selected, we click on link. This is going to load up. Over in Unreal, you can see, you'll see this eventually change from yellow to green. I don't know why it switched back to yellow though. Anyway, we don't need this screen anymore. If I go back to Mother 1, there's my animation sequence. I can drag and drop it to here. I can lift it up. That is by a lot, so let's change that to by 5. Okay, let's change it to by 1. Cool, that's fine right there. And then I am just going to scale it up. Press R, grab the whole thing, scale her up, and focus by pressing F. Circle around. You're right. Okay, just use standard controls here. Cool, and you notice nothing's happening because obviously nothing's happening. Because I'm using the animation sequence in here, what I do in Maya should affect here. But before we do that, I have to make sure it's selected. Scroll on down on its details, and make sure that under skeletal mesh, I have update animation in editor ticked on. So now any animation I do will appear, except for blend shapes, which is what was bothering me. So right now, if I go to Maya, I can move the hand. I'm currently on frame 1. If I move the hand up, there we go. So you notice that it just jumps around like that. Let me switch over to Maya so you can see. So right now, this is turned on here. Now how this sort of works is it's sort of recording or capturing the entire timeline into Unreal. So right now only frame 1 is changed in Unreal. even though it's technically changed for the rest of Maya. So if I clicked on play, nothing's actually keyed, mind you. But if I go to Unreal, Unreal now has it down, up. This is the start of the frame, and then down. You can see it just changes on its own because I just basically recorded or captured it in. Which is fine, good, cool, whatever. I can do other things, like I can move the waist down. So now that happens like that. Now, notice this though. If I go back to Maya, mouth is actually open and smiling. Or rather just smiling, just the cheeks are up. Not here though. They aren't doing anything here. If I click on, if I open up the animation sequence and we have a look at it here. Great. Ignore the bad lighting there. What the? Okay. Cool. Cool. Now we're in. I have all the blend shapes right here as curves. And if I go into the character mode here, I have my morph targets and I have all the blend shapes here. So I can move stuff like glasses around. So yes, unfortunately my glasses are blend shapes, which is really annoying. Mouth long, mouth closed, mouth wide, mouth narrow. Now because this also, because Unreal operates with negative values as well, you don't have to go so heavy into it if you're going to do stuff here, but we're not going to do stuff here. This is the annoying process. So in order for this to work live in Unreal, in Maya, what you have to do is this. Let me switch back to Maya. So in Maya, I have everything here linked by controllers. These controllers are controlling the straight blend shape. So if I go to Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor, wasn't quite what I actually wanted to grab. We got the Graph Editor. Probably the wrong thing to grab, so I'll just get rid of it. My bad. I'm sorry. I want the Shape Editor. Windows, Animation, Shape Editor. That's this one here. This is the problem, is all these different colors right here. These different colors are saying that they are constrained. They are restricted. Because they are. They're blocked right here. I'm going to reset all of these to 0 though. Just so everything's reset. And what we need to do is, in order for it to work, you have to break these connections. So if I were to just basically, oops, delete, those are gone. I don't have controllers anymore, but instead I can either operate. Come on, I just want you to live right here. I can move it around. Those do move and those do work, so I can go like mouth closed. Let's extend that so I can see what my shapes are. I'm going to make it a little wider. Mouth is going to be closed a bit more, but I am going to lift the cheeks up. Well, let's lift the one cheek up. And we'll make the left cheek down. No, I won't. Yeah, just a little bit down. So that way we've got a bit of a smirk happening, a little bit of a smug look. And doing that right there has actually changed it in Unreal now. So now Unreal has the, wow, that's a bit messy. It has the smirk happening right there. This is annoying, but what you could do then is you can have everything basically set to 0, just so we can start it. I'm going to have the mouth closed. I'm going to go back to keyframe 1. And I'm going to key that frame. Now we got the red, that's fine. Now over here I'm going to, on frame 22, just key that mouth open. So now it's keyed, it's animating. I didn't do anything in terms of like updating like I did with the hands and everything. But in Unreal, ignore the bouncing around. You can see that the mouth does open up because of that. So that's how you get the blend shapes to work, is you can't have extra controllers. So how animators will have to animate is either using the shape editor or by having to click on the mesh and then going through your shapes here. Now going through here is annoying because then all you have access to is 1s and 0s. Now I could probably change that. You can type in and change it, so I can go like 0.5 if I wanted to. But that's how they would have to animate, is through here. You could, now if you want to make it easier for them, you could probably create a separate tab up here that has access to the blend shape straight away. But that's how animators have to animate in order to get blend shapes to work in the thing. So at the moment that means my eyes aren't going to actually do, oh, those ones should not have broken. I don't know why these ones are not actually working. The fact that these aren't working right now, that worries me a bit. Because they were working a second ago. Does that mean this probably doesn't work either? Yeah, cool. All just because I broke this blend shape. That probably messed up with the nose behind it. But that's fine because I know that they will still blend if I go back to my blend shape. Windows, animation, shape editor. They still look like they're trying to be connected, but let's just delete. And let's delete. Now I have nothing here, which is fine. Mother glasses. Oh, they don't look like they're actually doing anything. Oh, because that's turned off. There we go. It might have been working. I might have just had that turned off accidentally. Either way, now if I do this, it will actually update in Unreal because I've broken that connection. Left eye closed. And so I can basically switch over to back to Unreal, and we can see that that has actually changed the eyes. I can do changes here so you can see it changing as well. I'm going to fix that jumping, so to do that I have to go to here. Let's just click out play. Sweet. So I guess I don't have that keyframed, so if I set that to 0 and then just hit play, I can see nothing's really happening. But what I'm doing is, because I'm going through each frame because it's playing, you can either go through it by just like dragging around like this, or you can just hit play. So if you're trying to just do a specific area, you could just drag across and that'll update the scene in Unreal. So right now in Unreal, it should be just the mouth move. There it is, just the mouth moving, because that's the only thing that's actually keyframed now. And that's affecting the curves. And I'll show you what that looks like. So over here, there it is. So we have the curve set right there for the mouth close to, well, close. Or rather go from close to open. Because 1 or on is fully closed and 0 is fully open. Because it's the mouth closed thing. In here, in this mode, if you're looking at the morph targets, change that back. If you're looking at the morph target sections this way, you can't change a preview screen from the preview controller from default to my LiveLink preview and disconnect camera sync. And then that normally should let you do stuff, although it doesn't look like it's actually doing any face controls. It is happening here in the animation sequence because of these curves here. But that's basically your workflow. Is you can't use controllers to control blend shapes. You have to use either the channel box or the shape editor.